Oh, this Rubik's Cube. Well, watch this. In case you didn't know, I used to actually be a really big Rubik's Cube nerd. And allow me to just direct my camera up there. I'm not sure if you can see. Today I thought I'd go on a little rant. So it has been a while since I've recorded one of these commentaries, let alone been on the 360. I've seen that a lot of people have been playing Modern Warfare 2 recently, so I thought I'd hop on. So today, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a pretty solid mood, mainly because it's Tuesday. First of all, like, look at this weather, okay? That's the only way I can get it to adjust because the brightness is really weird. But look how nice that is. So I'm in a good mood because first of all, like I said, the weather is good. And on top of that, it's Tuesday, okay? Tuesday is definitely the worst school day of the week because we have like just the worst schedule, I guess. As much as people hate Mondays, it's just kind of a fresh start to the week, you know? Then you got the Tuesdays, which like just no one likes. Then it's Wednesday, okay? Wednesday is the middle of the week. You kind of got that feeling that like we're almost there, you know? And as well in our school, we actually have a half day. So on Wednesdays, we get off at 1:30 compared to every other day we get off at 4. But either way, I'm just in a good mood, you know? I like to be in a good mood. I'm just feeling myself, not sexually, but mentally. Then comes tech graph. Now, if you don't know what tech graph is, technically... Now in our school, in first, second, and third year, it's called technical graphics. And then in year 4, 5, and 6, even though 4... It's this weird year. I've explained it before. I'll leave a link to the video right here. I'm really bad at doing that kind of stuff. Look, boom! Look, it's there. Click on that if you want to find out what TY is, or 4th year. Don't ask me what DCG stands for because I just still call it tech graph either way. I think it stands for design something graphics. Now for DCG, I have this one teacher that I also actually have for construction, which is basically woodwork, or I guess wood shop is what Americans call it. I don't know. So I have this teacher, and he's a prick, to put it nicely. Like, I genuinely don't know where to begin. Like, first of all, he can't teach. They say those who can't do, teach, but he can't do either. Now tech graph, or DCG, whatever you want to call it, it's basically like a bunch of drawings, like technical drawings, like you use rulers. There's no freehand stuff. There is a tiny bit of freehand, but like not much at all. It's like 99.9% all rulers and stuff like that. Now me personally, only reason I take it is because I'm good at it. Like it's technical, it's practical, it's all in the brain, it's all about spatial awareness. Like the better you are spatially aware, the better you are at it. Like that's why I'm good at the Rubik's Cube, because I have good spatial awareness. Like I like to work, I guess, in my head. Like I'm really bad at other subjects because first of all, I don't pay attention. So since it is all this technical stuff, like he just draws on a blackboard to teach. Like if we're doing something new, he'll draw on the blackboard, but other than that, he really can't teach. So like I said, first of all, he can't teach, but when he is doing a new drawing, when he has to draw it up on the board, he just like, he faces into the board like this, and he just like, he mumbles. He doesn't even say it clearly. He doesn't really announce to the class like what he's doing or why you do it. He will kind of explain it. I'm sure if Keemstar got both of us onto the debate, he would definitely argue his case that he teaches and shows us all what to do. But I can assure you, he just mumbles under his breath. Nothing is fully clear what he's doing or why we should be doing what we're doing. Second of all, he abuses his power so badly. Like the majority of teachers, they know they have power, and they take that, you know? They're like, yeah, sure, I have power. I'm not gonna abuse it though. Maybe when I have to, I might, but I'm not gonna abuse it. This teacher, however, he abuses it so bad. He thinks he's the absolute bee's knees. He goes around thinking he owns the place, but he's basically whipped by every other teacher. Whenever other teachers come into the room, like he pretends to be so nice, but he just abuses his power and he gives out to everyone. And just whenever he walks into the room, he can't just open the door like a normal person and walks in. He uses his full body to like barge in, bust open the door. Like it's so aggressive and just unnecessary. It's unneeded. Like it annoys me when he walks into the room. Before we go any further, I'd also like to point out the fact that I'm probably gonna forget a bunch of stuff that he does. Like I'm probably gonna be editing this video and then realize another thing that he does. Thirdly, he's just a bad teacher in general. Like he's just a bad teacher when it comes to giving results, or just like when we have to do tests, he literally makes up the test on the morning. Every other teacher, they have the test prepared. We go through, I don't know, a 7-hour day. We have 40 minutes of test. Everyone has their tests ready to give out to their students, like just right when they come in. This guy literally makes up his test in the morning and then I end up only getting like 20 minutes to do a 40-minute test. A lot of the time, he could give us a topic to do, right? We're doing a topic inside of school, learning it away for a month, then we could stop. We could be doing something completely different for another 2 months, and then at the end of that 2 months, at the end of the total of 3-month period, it being 2 months since our last, I guess, new topic, he'll give me a test on not the topic that we're currently doing, but the topic that we did before. And he won't even tell us what's coming up on the test, so it's not like I don't know what to do. And I guess you could say that, yeah, you're supposed to know what to do, you're supposed to be constantly revising, but how am I supposed to revise one topic when he's making it out like we're supposed to have another topic to be doing? Hello? As I was saying, so this guy, he'll just give us tests that are like completely unrelated to whatever we're doing. Like, it's the same with construction. For our construction tests, he will literally arrive to school late. Like, for our last test, I think we had tech graph first and then we had construction. He arrives into school 15 minutes late. Then he came up to me, asked me a bunch of really random questions, just kind of doing with the tests, goes away, makes the paper, comes back, and I only have like 15-20 minutes to do a 40-minute test. Like, it's bad enough that he's giving me topics that, are completely unrelated to what I should be doing. He also he gives me half the time to do a test that's just, I don't know. Then when it comes to our report card, what teachers have to do is they have to grade all of them first, and then they'll have like a book with all the results of every student in their class. And then when they're going and they'll hand around, like, just say everyone's report card, they have to type in or write in their result, and then they put a little comment next to it. He's always the last to mark people's papers. He's always the last to correct people's exams, and as a result, teachers have to go like hunting after him, looking for the results just so they can get the report cards. Like, report cards for us, I'm fairly sure, like, they always come out like, I don't know, like a few weeks after the tests, but I'm fairly sure they would come out like a week later or a couple days later if just he wasn't so late correcting everyone's results and then getting back to the other teachers about the report card. I'm on tilt, sorry, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff out on just one breath. On top of that, I'm in 5th year. The final year of our school is 6th year, so like, he's giving me 6th year stuff. He's giving me material that normally I would be like doing next year, or at least revising next year, and he's expecting me to do it like I'm so good. Like, I know in the past I've actually pulled off some unreal results in tech graph and construction, but it's like I've just been thrown in the deep end this year, and he just expects me to do so much. He just throws me in the deep end and expects me to be amazing at it, and I really can't, and it's a lot of effort. And that's another thing, when I get something wrong, or when I can't do something, he just completely shames me for it, and sometimes he does it in front of the whole class. Now, I don't care. Like, I don't care if he's gonna shame me in front of the class. That's not gonna embarrass me. I'm not sure if he's trying to embarrass me, but it doesn't work. That just goes back to, again, just being like scummy and abusing your power. On top of that, like, every time he gives out to me, like, it just makes me not want to do the work that he gives me even more. So, like, now the thing that kind of sparked me today was that yesterday I actually forgot my book for his class. Like, I didn't forget it in class, but I left it in my locker when I went home, so I couldn't do my homework. He's only checked the homework twice this year. I had it the first time, and this time, the only year that he has, like, came up to me and I haven't had my homework for him, he gives me a note. He gives me a note. And on top of that, what kind of inspired this video, should I say, is that 2 people down the line, there was one guy sitting next to me. There's like 2 desks together. They're like single desks. So there's like single desk, but they're together. Then there's a space, another 2 singles, a space, another 2 singles. So I didn't have my homework, or at least I had like half of it, I guess. And the guy next to me, he's actually my friend. There's like, we're in a class, like, we are the only 2 5th years. So since the class is so small and our school is such a shithole, they put the 2 of us in amongst all these 6th years. So this guy, he's actually doing like a lower level. There's like a higher level, and then there's ordinary level. And in this subject, this guy's doing an ordinary level. So he's doing a different level. He had different homework or whatever. So it's not like, we had the same homework and he did his and I didn't do mine. But my friend, he had his done. Then going one more person down the line, so we're kind of into the next set of 2. This guy, some other guy in the class above me, he didn't have his homework done, and him not having his homework done is more important than me not having my homework done, because I'm just in 5th year, okay? It's kind of an important year, but next year is the big year. Next year is the year that decides, like, your college. And so this guy in this class didn't have his homework done, and he didn't get a note. he didn't get a note. So I don't care. I'm not bringing that note home to my parents because first of all, it's a bullshit note. Second of all, I know that my parents, since my results, my results have definitely been slacking, and it's because I don't care about school. But like, even though this is my best subject and I do get B's and A's, they're still gonna think just because I'm slacking in every other subject that, you know, he's right, but he's not. So those are just some of the reasons as to why this guy's a complete and utter douchebag. Now I'm going to tell you guys a couple of stories. Now this first story goes back 2 years ago when I was in 3rd year. I was sitting with a different friend and we were just sitting here, right? We were casually sitting here. He was drawing something on the board showing us. So I'm actually listening. There's only 2 of us in the class and I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I'm seeing everything he does. I'm responding whenever he asks. I'm like, if he's asking, do you understand? I'm like, yeah. But actually, when he asks, do you understand? I say, yeah. Do you want me to say that again? Yeah. Like, tell me that doesn't sound positive. That yeah, okay. There is yeah. There's yeah. And then there's yeah. There's angry, depressed, and then there's happy. Like, tell me that yeah does not sound kind of cheerful and interactive. So he turns halfway through, looks at me. He looks at my friend as well, just to kind of make sure we're understanding. But he doesn't say anything. And then he looks at me and he says, do you understand that, David? And I said, yeah. And then he says, you look lost and confused. Focus. Like, I'm staring at the board and I responded as soon as you asked the question. How was I daydreaming? Like, how did I look confused? Like, that is my default facial expression. Then after that, he asked again, do you understand? And I said, yeah. In which he responded to, less of the attitude. This person had the nerve to ask me if I understand, receive a positive sounding yeah, and at this stage, since I was kind of confused about him questioning my confusion or focus, I had more of like this, rather than like my default facial expression, which would be like, this is default. I had this, raised eyebrows, less threatening, less angry, and I said, yeah. Like, how is that attitude? Like, yeah, that's positive attitude. I wish I thought at the time to say, what, you want me to be depressed instead of a positive attitude? Like, I'm giving you some of the most, like, literally the only way I could have made that more positive is if when he asked me, I said, yes, sir. So the nerve of this guy to just come at me like that, that's just ridiculous. That just goes to show that he loves abusing his power and trying to make people feel little. As well, just in general, he tends to question a lot of people and just, especially like, he's asked me on multiple occasions like, oh, you think you're a big man, do you? Oh, you think you're a hard man, or oh, you think you're a big man, do you? Like, this guy, like, you know, he's kind of big. He could easily beat me up in a fight, alright? I'm not gonna deny that, but who settles arguments by fighting, okay? That's honestly, in my opinion, it may seem the more manly way to go about things, but in my opinion, that's a pussy way of settling arguments. Like, if you really think you're right, then why should you have to fight to prove it? I know that kind of sounds silly, but like, I'd love to just stand up, get up in his face and just, because obviously, even though he thinks he's the hard man, he's always just gonna take the easy way out of it. He thinks he's a hard man, but someone doesn't do what they say, he's gonna give him a note. I know that's school rules, but you know, if you think you're so hard, like, why do you settle things like that? That's gonna do it for today's video. I'm not sure how weird that looked. I don't know, I was just kind of stretching. I thought I'd do it. But either way, that's enough for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you have any stupid teachers that you hate in your school. Maybe tell me a little story about them. And I'll read it down below in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new here. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Links are in the description below. And yeah, really hope this teacher doesn't see it. But if you see it, hey, now you know how I feel. Maybe you can reevaluate how you teach. And we could get along in the future. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.